My name is Steve Dougal. I'm Managing Director of Century Marine Services Limited. I'm a shipbroker and I'm a priest in the Church of England.
So Steve, we've just had a very lively opening session here at the ITS 2022 in Istanbul. No surprise that the most popular question among our audience so far is, what is the differential in terms of cost of ownership from a next generation tug versus a current tug?
Well, of course, the actual cost differential is probably not as great as people think. I mean, from a tier 2 to tier 3, you're probably talking about just a few €100,000 at the end of the day. But of course, a lot will depend upon what kind of fuel it is and what power, what size, because of course there is a huge difference from going from tier 2 to tier 3 or going from tier 2 to LNG or to batteries. So that is a big difference there.
Steve, you say the cost differential is not that great, yet there are owners struggling to persuade financiers to back these projects, financiers who are as apprehensive about stranded assets as anyone else. Your take?
Yeah, absolutely. But the difference between tier 2 and tier 3 is still the fact that those boats are using fuel oil. So there's no difference in the case of the availability of fuel, the ability to work anywhere. Where that differential comes along is in terms, let's say, a battery-powered tug or hydrogen-powered tug. On a battery-powered tug, of course, the endurance, the hydrogen-powered tug on the size and endurance too. And this is where owners have a concern that it doesn't actually fit into the fleet profile. Now, as I said earlier on the platform, there is a place for those tugs, and where those tugs are working, so an LNG tug will be working in an LNG terminal, and they're there to make money, and they are there for safety. So the financier should be comfortable that that tug has a long-term job in that place and will recover its capital investment over the lifetime.
Now, you mentioned earnings. Not everyone is enjoying fantastic earnings. Some towing companies are struggling to make reasonable profit. How can they realistically expect to fund the transition to more sophisticated and expensive technologies such as the batteries, the all-electric, and so on?
Well, that is a problem because, of course, it is in many ways politically driven. And this is actually quite an issue, and that's the hesitation that owners are having. Do they actually go that way today, or do they wait, see if the technology gets better and cheaper? And a lot of owners are actually preferring to wait. They're just hesitating a bit, just to see if something else comes onto the market that's going to be a little cheaper and a little better, and then they will jump into the ring. But to go straight into it is a very difficult task indeed.
Steve, on the dais, you recalled that in a recent conversation, someone referred to you as a medium. So picking up on the crystal ball idea, it was a session themed global outlook. Yeah. How do you see the global outlook?
It's very positive. I mean, in terms of the sustainability innovations that are coming around here this week, is actually quite incredible. I've been walking around and looking at some of them. And, if we can't find something which is actually going to replace fuel oil as a premier source of fuel, in the next 5 years, then we shouldn't be doing our job. I think it's going to make change the whole world of shipping, as I said in the first place. Sir Francis Pettit-Smith had that innovation of the screw propeller. Everybody laughed at him, but that's been our business for the last 200 years.